Today at Let's Talk Marketplace, we talked about
the most important marketplaces for selling to Poland by category and why those are mostly Allegro, and some other platforms.
Polish e-commerce expert Marcin Czyczerski gives us his views on the Polish e-commerce miracle and debates why everyone and their mother now wants to sell there.
Have fun listening.
Let's Talk Marketplace.
The Marketplace podcast with Ingrid Lammer and Valerie Dichtel.
Here we are, back again with Let's Talk Marketplace, and thanks for joining us once more. Today you're in for a lively discussion about Poland. We talk about why everyone and their mother is currently opening new marketplaces in Poland, I guess, or at least considering it. Why the Polish market is so attractive on the one hand and so difficult on the other one. And for all these questions, we have a great and very knowledgeable guest at hand. But before we welcome him, I have to welcome my best of co-hosts back, because it's great that you're here again, Valerie. How was your community-filled week?
Yeah, thank you for welcoming me. I had a full week of like the ECD talks with the brand community. It's all about the very soonish start of the Marketplace Leader Circle for Softlines. We have great brands joining, and as you know, as it usually is like with pretty like launches and last moment applications, etc. It's always a bit stressful on the week before. So yeah, that's how my
last minute stuff going on.
how my May actually looked like a bit. And I was also at the ECD, where we also did a small Speed Connect event, where I accidentally bumped also into our guest for today, which I didn't expect it at all. Right in the early morning, Marcin Czyczerski. I'm so sorry. You need to spell it again. Oh yeah, you told me before and I really messed it up. So
as we practice, it was better.
Yeah.
but still not bad.
So welcome, one of the most established and best connected experts on the Polish e-commerce market. Welcome, Marcin, and it's great to have you.
Yeah, thank you for having me, and it was also a pleasure on my side to meet you there, and it was a great meeting, worth visiting next year as well. And regarding me, as we said, so 16 years at the beginning of my career in Volkswagen in manufacturing, and then this strange move to retail, to the company, so-called old-fashioned style without e-commerce, even internet page, and one of the biggest, deepest transformation of retailer in Europe with that company. And 8 years as CFO and then CEO and president of the group of CCC group. So if you know Deichmann, this like Central Eastern European Deichmann, but I would believe a little bit more fascinating regarding how we approach customers and how digitalized the company was. And then Modivo, pure e-commerce player, and there we launch marketplaces on both sides, we can say. So on our own side, we decided to be a marketplace for merchants, and it was really positive grow with that. And also we decide that with the products we have, we could be successful with external marketplaces like Otto, About You, Zalando, also competitors. And we launch our sales through all these marketplaces, and it is also a success story there. And last year, I'm more independent. I'm a couple of supervisory boards as non-executive director, also in fashion industry and e-commerce, and that's also what's moving me now. And I also establish a consultancy boutique helping companies to enter Polish market, and also Polish marketplaces and Polish merchants to grow in Europe. And with a couple of friends of mine, old story and maybe fun fact, and that we moved back to the old times, and we launched together, and me as co-founder, our own marketplace, ewoman.pl. It's really small, like all startups, but it will be great because it has great mission to help women with digitalizing their businesses and entrepreneurship. So the mission is strong, and I believe we'll move that to the place we wish to.
Now you answered all the questions we will have asked
Yes,
you
thank you very
afterwards,
much.
Marcin. So
well,
we're
that's fine, you know.
yeah.
Right to the point. That's how we like our experts.
That's me.
So it's great to have you, Marcin. And as you illustrated, it's a long career of both fashion and shoes and the Polish market itself and the landscapes there. So yeah, very well fit for our talk today. So it's great to have you. When I was writing stuff together for today's episode, I stumbled upon a post of yours, I think from some 3 days ago, where you reflected on how far the Polish e-commerce market has come in the last 25 years and how also the perspective on it changed over the last years, which I found really interesting. That you maybe talk a bit about this, because you were describing how your economy was constantly like underestimated and belittled by Western companies and for a long time. But I think that has changed dramatically over the last years, hasn't it?
Dramatically, it's the right word, you can say. It was the really nice article in the Economist,
Yeah, I saw that
the
one.
rise of Poland, and it made a lot of us here in Poland very proud to be noticed, because it was partially missing, and that what my country and businesses here and people achieved and moved in last 35 years is really astonishing. I had the pleasure, maybe it's not the biggest pleasure because it means I'm old, that I live also in this older times, and I've seen how it was before 1989, and what we achieved in this time, and how bumpy was the road, and how it has changed. It really makes me proud, and is something worth writing about.
Yeah, and so the Economist did. Yeah, but I particularly like that story of yours when you said like, okay, 25 years ago, I had Western company leaders who asked the hotel if they get a guarantee that their Porsche will not be stolen from the garage and stuff like that. So yeah, things
We
have
can make
changed.
jokes now, but
Yeah.
you can believe what were my feeling then.
Yes.
Our colleagues asking if their cars won't be stolen at the factory facility, which was let's say quite secure. Yeah, but it's the past. The present is really bright, and future perspectives for Poland really the best probably in our history.
Yeah, I just found that interesting because it was, from what you were describing it was around the same time when Allegro was already building a huge marketplace and was pushing the Polish e-commerce along, and still it was underestimated for such a long time. So yeah, as Valerie said, you have answered most of our introductory questions already, but I think maybe you can sum up what are you best in? What do you do best when you talk about e-commerce, or when you talk about how you help companies come along? What's your strength?
So talking about me personally, surely I'm the person who is, let's say, who has great drive for transformations. Yes, so the last my 3 stories in the Volkswagen CC and Modivo, these are all U-turn stories regarding both system approach, technology, market positioning, product offer, IT solutions, e-commerce launch, e-commerce change, platform launch, marketplaces. So that's I'm good in. That's what I deliver, and surely that's the best in me, at least in this business area.
Yeah, I mean, I can also see, I mean, CCC is huge in Poland in terms of like shoes, right? More on the brand side, retailer side, and then you change to Modivo, which is like fashion marketplace in Poland, which is really dedicated to fashion. And I'm really excited to know more about also like other marketplaces. We also brought the marketplace Quadrant from Poland with us today.
Oh.
But I would say I would also love to know a fun fact about you, besides your business fun fact about it's not a fun fact. It's really great that you do this marketplace for women, supporting women. So cheers on that one. But we want to know a fun fact about you, maybe a private one, Marcin.
Wow.
Oh, it's not our business here.
You shot me. Good question. I should prepare something, but I didn't.
Okay.
No. Yeah, That's maybe not the best fun fact, but let's say more my love and passion. The city I love and the football team I love, FC Barcelona. And if I could be all time somewhere, it surely would be Barcelona and all what is connected with that. If I found something more funny, then I will revert to that.
So that's the real reason why you go to Shop Talk, huh?
Yeah. So,
Yeah, I can relate. I'm
Next
freezing
week.
the whole day, and I've been freezing for a whole week, so I'll take Barcelona anytime.
if you are there, then surely that's additional reason. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Right. So now that we know you a bit better and know why you're the right person to talk about the Polish market, maybe, let's dive into it. As I said in the introduction, everyone and their mother is trying to be a marketplace in Poland at the moment. To give a few examples, Kaufland had opened a marketplace for Poland last year, and MediaMarkt Saturn just recently opened, I think last month. Also Decathlon started quite recently, and Conforama last year, I think. So there's lots and lots of classical Western European companies that are discovering the Polish market. Why is that? So why is that the place to be at the moment?
Also about you and Zalando, right? I mean,
but
they
they
are
have
also
been there for
long
quite a while
already, quite a while all in Poland.
Yeah, and Zalando, to be honest, is one of the, from that perspective, one of the best success stories in Poland regarding marketplaces and adjustment to the Polish market. Surely I could elaborate. It was our biggest competitor as Modivo, and huge and great one. Yeah, but why Poland? So Poland, as you look at that country, and it is really great illustrated in that article we mentioned. Poland is a thriving market and a really dynamic e-commerce country, fast growing, uniquely shaped. I believe we have the chance to talk about that with almost in all categories and also as generalists with local champions. The country is also not small regarding addressable markets, 38 people, and roughly 80% of internet users who frequently shop online. And if you look at annual online business in Poland, it's also huge. It's above 20 billion US dollars. And the forecast is that it should grow at least double digit for the next 5-6 years. So it is something you should be aware of and think about it. And as whole world businesses look for growth potentials and also include that go-to-market strategy, Poland is quite obvious direction, and maybe because in most cases it is not done properly, because it is like looking left, France, looking right, Poland, and let's move to Poland and let's grab the cake, but it doesn't work in most cases so easily.
So would you also say that, because we had a podcast a few seasons ago, and then it was like this of like Polish, like the Germans, they are also earning money, but they are more sitting on their money and like not spending it, and that the Polish are more spending their money? Is that true? Would you say that?
Yeah, surely I would say, if I compare average, probably yes. The consumption growth in Poland, starting from much lower base, is really astonishing, and that's the fact, and it's always the dynamic which is assessed. So, but on the other hand, I would say that the part of success of local players and champions like Allegro is that they are aware that as Poles we are very price cautious, and we spend a lot, but let's say we are looking for the best offer.
So it is a price-driven market, you would say.
Surely, yeah.
Okay. Is that true for every category? Because you said Zalando is doing well in Poland, and Zalando is at least I would place it as more of a mid-price range and not the low price range. So how are they faring, and why are they faring good?
I believe it is valid for all categories, and still why Zalando is doing well in, let's say, these medium ranges is because these are one of not many, let's say, categories, Schrägstrich prices, in which you have like, I wouldn't say gaps, but where it's not so dense and where the Polish offer is not so wide as you have it at Allegro. And Zalando, also Polish answer, are, let's say, thinking about premiumization of its offers because it's simply not so competitive there as at the lower prices. And there is so competitive because these marketplaces, these retailers were aware and steer customers to them because of really good prices. The company I work for, name was CCC, as you mentioned, and that in Polish is price makes miracles. So it's the approach, it's the philosophy, it's what's behind of many successes we have in Poland.
So you would say in terms of like fashion, it's more that Zalando has the better assortment compared to Allegro, or that the assortment which doesn't have so many other ones in Poland, so therefore you don't have this crazy price challenge on the products, right?
Yeah. What Allegro has surely, it's a great ecosystem of everything, of these Polish specialties like Blix and lockers, loyalty solutions, and it's not to beat, I believe, by any other Western platform. It's really, we have fascinating companies here in Poland, but where Allegro is weak, and these are not too many such blind spots, is surely fashion, and it is not the natural first address to go to buy fashion, and as this claim of Zalando sounds, starting point of fashion for average, statistical polls, the starting point of fashion is surely Zalando at the moment, and it is a great achievement because as I commented once, you surely didn't notice, but it's not many cases in which Western or Eastern platforms, retailers had success in Poland as generalists or in single category. We are more to use how they bounce back than achieve something. Yeah.
And why is it that you're saying that more like Western European marketplaces expanding to Poland are often not that successful and bouncing back, like you said?
Oh, yeah. That's many reasons for that.
maybe splitting this into categories, is this easier? Because, for example, we also had like, let's talk about maybe Kaufland. Kaufland has like a presence in Poland too, right? A physical presence.
Yeah.
Yeah, big one actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe category by category, but you can also generalize that. So I believe this physical presence is very important, at least after, let's say, this COVID times. And as it was mentioned, as you said, also MediaMarkt and MediaMarkt Saturn. That is something as an advantage of them, that they have 200 stores, I believe. I have really doubts about that. That's not something what is the most important. We have examples in Poland how to combine omnichannel and marketplaces, what is not easy, but I believe what still matters more in Poland is whether you can plug into this Poland's special e-commerce infrastructure. So if you have lockers, if you have Blix, if you have the right dispute resolution processes, if it is properly digitalized, seamless, because the bar, because of Allegros and all the others, is rise extremely high. Yeah, and I'm not sure to what extent Kaufland and MediaMarkt Saturn are prepared for that. I would bet more on MediaMarkt Saturn because they have more localized team. They know that they need to have like point of difference, and they are looking there somewhere in refurbished products, what is unique and growing surely, and they have these omnichannel solutions surely, and they know Polish merchants a little bit better with the, let's say, plug and play approach, in which if I'm on MediaMarkt Saturn in Poland, I'm immediately in Spain, and we are smart and pragmatic, and we like that as Poles. And MediaMarkt is addressing that. I do not see any such advantages on side of Kaufland. Additionally to that, Kaufland with surely it's the approach and the price points with price points extremely low, and then you are in this area where Allegro is, and it is not to believe that you can be in Poland as good as Allegro. Their client base is not the most digitalized, you know what I mean. It's a little bit older one, so it's surely a no-win scenario. So in case of Kaufland, so I believe if these successes are not appearing, it's because of the fact that these are the special features of the Polish market I've just touched, and simply many companies, apart from maybe Zalando, Notino, Decathlon, they have such learning by doing approach, and Poland as a next country somewhere in the Eastern Europe, and they mostly miss, and they are mostly outside of the game in short time.
I find it interesting that you basically are saying if you don't do anything better than Allegro is doing, then you don't have a place in the Polish
stay
market.
at home.
Stay at home. That's the message, basically. So find a sweet spot apart from Allegro. So why is it Allegro so damn strong? I mean, this is me as a German asking, because you have the same perspective here on Amazon, because again, over here you would have to say, find something that you do better than Amazon or stay away. But how did Allegro manage that?
Yeah, surely. But only to comment that it's really so, as I know, at least in this digital marketing, how much About You, eBay, all the others spend, even Amazon, to try to launch awareness. It is the cash burning, so huge. But what's special about Allegro, and I believe that's the great question for many reasons. Once that is example, and really example, because they get prize for the 25th anniversary of Polish biggest, I believe, business newspaper. They a symbol of this Polish business, so they are not something common, so they are really special, and it is, I believe, they grow with Polish consumer, and consumers, and Polish consumers are really cautious, and they are not close to the world. It's not so, because as with this case Zalando, but they won't go to the foreign seller only because of this from western part of the world. And really Allegro being here and understanding that have raised the bar very high on convenience, price adjustment, trust, which is crucial, and the special infrastructure I like to elaborate on. And with that, all other sites often feel like a downgrade. Really strong word probably, but the fact. And if you look at that, Polish customers try to buy something cross-border, but then they are coming back to Polish e-shoppers, mostly Allegro, but also this Modivo, CC, and all the others mentioned. And step by step, cross-border is growing, but Allegro stays. And why? First thing, speed. For me and here in Poland, if you deliver something longer than 48 hours, it's like more or less joke. It's not something what is acceptable here. And what we are used to is simply next day delivery, especially via these in-post lockers, which are also unique and great, and they are simply everywhere. So the easiness of that is not easy to copy. And if you look at that way, that even Amazon, About You, they launched their platforms without that and added that 2 years later, it's much too late, because you are then associated with like old solutions, old style. Then to that, you have mostly these deliveries free if you are in Smart and you pay really a small subscription fee. For that, you can have all deliveries free. So it's really amazing, and it's one part of this special ecosystem. The second is also Polish specialty BLIK, so our payment method. And I also seen many companies like Temu, AliExpress, who I believe up to this day miss these payment solutions, payment methods, and it's really like the disaster for conversion, and you can't grow with that. And 70% of Polish online buyers use that method as first method. So if you don't have that BLIK, it's not easy. Third is local buyer protection, and it's also funny story from the past, as we were afraid of e-commerce getting something else like brick instead of radio being delivered from e-commerce. And on that base, Allegro has spent 20 years building this buyer trust, offering easy returns, clear seller ratings, and this strong dispute resolution process. So really buying at Allegro, you're 100% sure that everything will be okay. And you can, let's say, deliver that with Temu, AliExpress and all the others, or even Western companies with, for us in Poland, are upfront more reliable. That's so. We do not associate that in-commerce with so much as with Allegro. And the fourth reason I mentioned already, this is price competitiveness. As funny as it sounds, Allegro often sells the same products you can find on AliExpress or Amazon, even this Chinese one, but cheaper. And it's because Polish merchants are smart enough and import that directly from China. Yeah, we are really a nation with this entrepreneurship DNA. It was always so, not always good, but always so. And we use that in e-commerce, in Allegro, and there are like 100,000 online sellers on Allegro with that approach. And it's really like this soft barrier, but very difficult to cross all combined.
You say that language and currency is also a barrier, an additional one?
Yeah, surely. So if you add all that together, so wait 3 weeks, pay in euro, risk customs, when the same product is already on Allegro in Polish zloty with 24-hour shipping, fully guaranteed by highest Allegro rules. Yeah, we can ask ourselves the question, why would you choose something else? Yeah, and that's why it's so difficult to beat Allegro on that ground, especially if you take Poland, but also Romania, Lithuania as just a next country and didn't homework and know where you are going to.
Yeah. So logistics, price, convenience, trust, and payment methods. That's like it doesn't sound like much of a, I don't know, magic kind of spell, but obviously it works quite well for Allegro. So, but if all of that works so well for Allegro, why are typical Western brands often struggling when they try to sell on Allegro? Because this is what I've been hearing a lot from retailers as well. They started out on Allegro, they have a really hard time, they pull back. It's all about price, you can't compete, and then that's that. So why is that?
Yeah, good question. It's like the opposite side of the medal, and this also I know a couple of stories of brands. I wouldn't elaborate of the names, but which really have the accounts blocked within days on Allegro, not matching standards, which is, from my perspective, quite funny, knowing these standards. Yeah, but I believe we touched the base here already on the other side. So the main reason is simple. Allegro isn't just a marketplace. Yeah, it's a high-performance machine with almost zero margin for error. It looks easy from the outside. List your products, plug into traffic, and sell. But the reality is much more challenging. Yeah, Allegro's merchant ecosystem is very competitive and dense. As said, with tens of thousands of Polish sellers in each and every category, they have optimized their listings and improved that for last 20 years. They know how to play with prices, shipping times, returns, and how response to match Allegro's internal algorithms to be high. in their, let's say, listings. If foreign seller enters with slower logistics, and mostly they have slower logistics at the beginning, because as said, even Amazon haven't played that properly. If they have unclear descriptions, so mechanic translation, generic listings, they simply get buried instantly, and they are not easy to be seen at the platform. And next point is this trust. Yeah, this comes third time. Polish consumers on Allegro are very demanding regarding price, but much more sensitive to these trust signals. So if you are not, let's say, prepared to work intensively on reviews and so on, then one single bad review, one day delay, lack of smart eligibility can tank your visibility immediately. And many Western brands underestimate how important these local standards are regarding trust. And fast delivery, then bleak support, Polish communication, this trust component. Without that, you mentally are flagged with not reliable, and it's easy to move through that. You need really to someone like me or other Polish companies and who can steer you through the journey and to understand that, because the most expensive way of doing that business is learning by doing. Learning by doing is great, but not that case. SLA pressure of Allegro.
And speaking about other like marketplaces besides Allegro in the categories, if we have a look, for example, to the electronics market, and we have a look on our quadrant, usually we have for what means like Ingrid put together the electronics. We have Allegro, obviously. We have Amazon here as generalist. But if we put out the generalists, we have here MediaMarkt, Morel, and eBay. Would you agree on these ones? For, I would say,
I had a hard time finding anyone that was
Yeah.
relevant for the electronics
Besides Allegro, I could
category
imagine.
besides Allegro,
Yeah.
actually. So
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I think that was actually true for many
for
categories,
most categories,
right?
yes.
All three
like
are
Allegro and others.
all three are surprising. Yeah, exactly. Well, you know that I like your quadrant, and
Yeah, that's fine.
really, as we discussed that, it's really
On
tells a
Wednesday
lot.
at dinner.
Yeah, exactly. And regarding this category, it's really so that it's Allegro and almost nothing all. We have Polish giant media expert, I would say beloved one. And if
Which is not a marketplace, though. is
not
it?
yet, not
Yeah,
yet.
not
But
yet,
if
yeah.
but let's with the best omnichannel solutions, one of the best, and I believe it is ready to launch that. But probably these trade-offs on the base of being a marketplace on not delivering the same experience for all deliveries is something what is causing that they postpone that. All these three MediaMarkt, as we elaborate, just started. Let's see. I hope they will do something special here, but it's difficult to say that they have any importance. Morele, they were marketplace driven, but I believe they are much more at the moment merchant approach driven, in the meaning they are launching their own private brands, private labels, and selling that across Allegro and other marketplaces and eBay. What is eBay? It's, they tried massively, but Allegro was here, and in this area we have either Allegro or these other
Okay.
Polish not marketplaces.
And how is it for home and living? We have their Black, Red, White, which is from Poland, right?
Yeah,
We have Leroy Merlin and Castorama. Is it
Yeah.
similar to electronics or?
yeah, surely. Allegro is also the most important here,
Yeah.
but on the other hand, yeah, at least you know that they have also marketplaces, the three mentioned, and the same regarding DIY and garden. Leroy Merlin, as I believe already mentioned, is also one of good examples of the localized teams who did it well. The same about sports. So Decathlon is
Decathlon,
surely one of good examples, close to Zalando, and they work heavily on their own category step by step, and they are top of mind for sports. So it means you can
Beauty and care, like to finalize our quadrant because of about fashion we spoke before. You say we picked for beauty and care Douglas, Zalando, and Modivo.
Yeah, I'm really proud to see that Modivo, knowing how we struggle with beauty, how difficult that category is for the fashion company. Zalando surely. Douglas, I'm not sure if they launch operationally their marketplace already in Poland.
I wasn't sure about that either. I
so I
saw
would-
them high on the list for their normal business, but I wasn't sure about the marketplace.
But here I believe Notino is marketplace, is the Czech-based.
No, they're not a marketplace. That's just a retailer.
Okay.
Yeah,
But
I looked them up, but
they are, I would say, top of mind, and
Yes.
if they decide that surely. And in case of fashion and shoes, I believe Zalando is number one, Vinted number two, and I would see here surely Modivo with its marketplace. We launched it like 3 years ago, and I believe it's big enough in comparison to Shein in Poland, which is not, which just started and not existent with marketplace. So surely, and as fun checked with this generalist, I would say Allegro, and then probably point of difference I see first here Empik, which is amazing story of also Polish old-fashioned company, which similar to this CCC, which moved through digitalization and then marketplace solution. I do not see as generalist, and it is surely stronger than Kaufland, but I believe it is not to see in this EBCD and data. It's early. It's also Polish generalist.
I see.
Yeah, and probably it should be mentioned here. And it's also part of Allegro, but also could be standalone, like with Crouch in Greece. This Ceneo, this Polish price comparison tool, its traffic is really huge. And if they decide to be a standalone marketplace, immediately they would be probably one of the biggest here.
Yeah. I had Ceneo on my list as well, but as they are not a classic marketplace with a price comparison, I put them down. But very important as well. Yeah, thanks for mentioning that. Yeah, but this was one of the quadrants that I struggled most with, because just as you said, it should be like Allegro,
It's boring, I know.
and some others.
Yeah.
But it's really interesting for us, because I get a lot of interest for this quadrant, and especially from Western brands. I always get like, okay, who else is there apart from Allegro? Can we go with Amazon? And this is coming back to what I said before, that they're struggling with Allegro and really having trouble to, I don't know, get a foot in the door, so to speak, on that marketplace, because it is already so tightly packed with very smart Polish retailers who know how to play the game there.
Yeah, if it is not with Allegro, then it is not really, in this case. And but as I know, what businesses Polish companies really have on Allegro alone, it is really worth doing that properly. There, and it is like a great recipe for success on such huge and growing market as Poland. So I strongly recommend not to look at that they have like 40% of market in e-commerce or so. It's still the place where you should be thinking about Poland. That's for sure.
Yeah. So that were actually quite good last words, huh?
Yes.
You want to add something?
No, it's a pleasure to talk to you, and really thank you for having me here. It was a nice conversation.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you for that.
For being also so spontaneous. And
That's me.
It was really like coincidence, right? Like we wrote just 3 weeks ago, and then we met last week, and this week we're doing a podcast. So that's really a fast one,
It
I
goes
would
fast,
say.
yeah. Fast lane.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your time, Marcin.
Thank you very much.
And
Pleasure on my side.
And I would say if you liked listening to us today, you could make us very happy by following us and rating our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube, or wherever you're listening to us. And of course, by tuning in again next time.
Next time, Valerie and me will take a look at the most important marketplace news of May, and we'll be very happy if you joined us. So, thank you for
Surely.
listening today.
Thank you.
Thanks, Marcin.
Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
You listen to Let's Talk Marketplace,
The Marketplace podcast with Ingrid Lommer and Valerie Dichtel.